Hi. So last week we were talking about also how to heal the central nervous system. In fact, the last 3 weeks we've been talking about that. I could talk about that for the next 6 weeks, but I wanted to spend 4 weeks sharing with you some little tricks of the trade to be able to start creating room for yourself to be able to heal from the inside out. If you know anyone that's struggling with depression, anxiety, a constant state of overwhelm, please send them my way. Share my YouTube channel, share my Instagram, share the website, whatever you can do. The more that we can inspire each other to heal, the more that we understand how we can heal, the more we understand this, how we are able to heal by choices we make. It's an incredible gift to give to ourselves. So the first week we were talking about the central nervous system, we created a really cool meditation. The second week, we really focused on taking really true downtime for yourself and what that means, and making sure that your mind isn't telling you that you're taking downtime and it's not really downtime. Last week, we were talking about the importance of hydration when it comes to your central nervous system, that you give yourself the space to have small, consistent amounts of water throughout the day. And if you wanted to kind of boost it, that you can focus on adding a couple of drops of something called Rescue Remedy, which is a flower essence that can help relax the nervous system, and it can help heal trauma that's stuck in the system. And then allow yourself to use like a little stick stir or a spoon and just focus on a positive intention, like being maybe calm and relaxed in this moment. I allow myself to feel calm and relaxed in this moment. I choose to calm down in this moment is a wonderful one. Giving ourselves the reminder that we are in control of our emotional focus. We might not be in control of what comes up, but we are 100% focused on allowing ourselves to be aware of what we are focusing on, and that we are capable of shifting gears anytime we want to. Today, I wanted to share with you some super important points about diet, and I started touching base on it last week. Something very important to understand with diet is the color green when it comes to our central nervous system. The color green is very calming and nourishing. The color green and green vegetables is really important to help heal our central nervous system. How come? Because green vegetables are high in a lot of vitamins and minerals that really do feed and nourish our central nervous system. When we allow ourselves to feel supported and nourished, incredible things happen. So, for example, if I'm feeling stressed and I'm like, I feel like going to eat a bunch of pizza right now, I can pay attention to how that's going to make me feel. My stomach's going to be kind of bloated. I'm going to probably feel kind of tired. I might feel more afraid and more anxious. Now, I might head over and I might really go focus on having a big thing of steamed vegetables with some protein and a healthy amount of carbohydrate, meaning 1 serving of carbohydrate. And I'm going to notice my body feels more relaxed. I'm going to notice I feel more focused. I'm not so tired. I'm more engaged in the moment. When we have a carb-dense diet, we're not very engaged in the moment. In fact, it takes a lot for us to process too many carbohydrates in the system. I foresee it now. I'm going to start getting comments about how a person's an athlete and they need to eat a lot of carbohydrates. Absolutely. As I mentioned in most of my videos, when we work with intuition, every body is very, very different. I've been a medical intuitive for over 32 years. I work with people all over the world, and I can tell you it is remarkable how different everyone is. But over 32 years of experience, I've been able to fine tune a couple of main issues for people just in general. So most people in general eat too much processed carbohydrates, right? So the idea is, how do I get back to the whole food carbohydrates, and how do I stick to 1 serving in a meal of carbohydrate? Most of us don't realize it, but we're having 2 or 3 servings of carbohydrates. If you don't know what that looks like, make sure to go over to MyFitnessPal. It's a great app you can download, and you can start paying attention to what 1 serving size really is. Is it 1 slice of toast or is it 2? Get into a habit of having one serving of processed carbohydrates at the most, or even unprocessed carbohydrates at the most. If you go have a baked potato, you can go to the steak shop down the street and the baked potato is this big. A serving size that's healthy is probably going to be this big, okay? Not this big, but this big. So this is the thing when it comes to figuring out how to heal the body. Food can be an incredible medicine. Food can be an incredible medicine. Notice how I'm saying it can be, not it is. Food can be an incredible medicine based on what you are choosing to eat. If you look at your plate of food and it's mainly a vegetable source, fresh vegetables, and then you have some protein and you have a little bit of fat and you have one serving of carbohydrate, most people's bodies function very, very well with that balance in general. The thing is most people don't monitor what they're eating. They look at what they feel like eating. When we look at what we feel like eating, most of the time when we're feeling anxious, we're already feeling overwhelmed. When we're trying to heal our central nervous system and feel more calm and centered, most of us are emotionally driven eaters, meaning we end up getting really tired after we eat because we're having too much sugar, too much carbohydrates. Maybe we're not eating at all. So I don't know if you caught this in last week's video. I was talking about slow, consistent amounts of water, small, consistent amounts of water consistently throughout the day. It's the same thing with anything in the healing process. It's not all or nothing. If you're wanting to heal your central nervous system, it's critical that you're eating consistent meals throughout the day. If you're waiting to dinner to eat and you have one meal, you're likely going to have a pretty stressed central nervous system. So what is the central nervous system? It's how our body's interpreting stress, overwhelm, what we're thinking, all of these things. A lot of us have hormonal imbalance that we're working with that also sets us up where our nerves are kind of on edge, right? So I oftentimes say, a friend of mine taught me, my nerves are up, right? So I'm on edge or my nerves are up. How do we calm them down? Through self-care and by reminding ourselves to slow down. Then choosing to eat in a way that's constructive for our physical, our mental, and our spiritual bodies. It's really, really, really important to understand how critical the choice of what we eat impacts our overall mental health and physical health. We just don't hear about this stuff a lot. So carbohydrates, if you're getting too jacked up on sugar consistently, your nerves are going to be on edge. I know you all know what I'm talking about too. You have a candy bar, zing, energy's good, that kind of feeling. Too much caffeine, right? So that's the other thing, right? It's monitoring what we're doing. So some of you might say, well, why didn't you talk about not having caffeine last time or limiting caffeine? Why did you talk about water instead? This is why. I love to carry my practice, all my patients with my practice. I love focusing as much as I can on what we add in, not what we take away. I like focusing on what we can add in, not what we take away. And as we're consistent with adding positive things in, those negative habits naturally just leave consistently across the board. I see it every single day. If we put ourselves in too astringent of a program where we're taking this, this, and this out, we might feel like $1 million. And then we get into our old habit structure again and feel like crap. And then we feel like crap about ourselves. And that's just a horrible cycle to get into. So the first part of healing the central nervous system is making sure you have tools to remember that you can stop and reset and create a beautiful moment anytime that you want to. That your food is really important, that you're feeding healthy parts of your nervous system and you're supporting a calm, grounded focus. Healthy amount of vegetables, protein, a little fat, and one serving of carbohydrate per meal is a great general way to start. Of course, everybody is very specific. So you might say, I can't do that. What am I supposed to do then? I mean, you could always have a session so we could figure it out. But in a context of a focus like this, most people will hear this and say, wow, my diet is half carbohydrate. Wow, I haven't really had protein. Wow, I've been eating a lot more sugar. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just pay attention. Pay attention without stressing. Add more vegetables, number one, into your diet. Focus on, if you are having carbohydrates, that's fine, but pay attention to what one serving is. If you're having a candy bar, make sure it's one serving. If you're having a piece of toast, what is an actual serving size? Is a bagel a half of a serving one, or is a full serving one? One serving per meal. Lots of vegetables, lots of focus on that, and allowing yourself to just focus on relaxing. And remember, you have choices. This is a huge, huge piece of healing the central nervous system, is reminding yourself that you always have choices. As children, a lot of what stressed us out. As adults, a lot of what stresses us out is that we forget that we're constantly having choices, and we forget how powerful and connected we really are. All right. If you want to learn more about healing the body from the inside out, check out my website. Go and sign up for my mailing list. If you're not subscribed here, subscribe here. You're going to get a weekly Wednesday. It's called Wellness Wednesday. Focus. Anytime you want, it's going to be there on Wednesday. It is so important that if you're wanting to heal, and it sounds intriguing that your life might impact the quality of your health, that you learn what that's about, that you learn how that integrates for you, and that you can make conscious changes so that you can feel healthy, balanced, and like yourself again. You deserve to feel energized. You deserve to feel calm. You deserve to feel supported. So this is a great place to start. In the last 4 weeks, what we talked about, it's a lot of wealth of information. And if you want to keep learning, tune in, sign up for my website so you can get part of my email tribe. On Tuesdays, we send out awesome information to inspire you and to teach you how to heal your body from the inside out. As I said, I've been doing this for 32 years. Miraculous story after story after story, where doctors have said, no way, it's not possible. And people have chosen to take the quality of their life and their diet in their hands and have had phenomenal healing opportunity and experiences. You deserve that. You deserve that.